If you're unfamiliar with the basic concept of a camera caddy or a basic grip stabilizer, it's a pretty simple concept. You have a grip bar, which allows you to easily hold on to the camera and position it, and you attach your camera to it. And the extra factor of you gripping onto something else instead of directly gripping your camera body allows your video recordings to be a lot more stable. These are fantastic products. I've used them for years. We've used them at conventions, at park shoots. Anytime we're running handheld, we generally try to have one of these available. Well, a company called 7 Oak reached out, actually the people behind movo-photo.com reached out on behalf of the 7 Oak people for their new MicRig, which is a camera caddy with a built-in microphone system. It is pretty slick. I'm EposVox, here to make tech easier and more fun via free educational videos like this one, back with another piece of gear review. I love reviewing video production gear and playing with it in the first place since I like making videos, and the people at movo-photo were courteous enough to send out the new 7 Oak MicRig, which is still an in-development product. Like, I have the retail sample, but they're currently kickstarting it to get the full production line available and make some fine-tune adjustments to it and hopefully come up with a couple more models, which I'll touch on in a moment. The Kickstarter's launching in a couple weeks. Keep an eye on the description. I'll have a link down there, or just keep an eye out for movo-photo.com. They should have it up there as well. But they've taken the basic video stabilizer grip caddy concept and integrated a stereo microphone, and the results are pretty cool. So in the box, you get the caddy, which is fairly straightforward other than the microphone topper here, which I will touch on in a minute, but they also give you some other tools. They give you a couple GoPro mounts. They give you a cell phone mount, which just has a little adjustment wheel to attach cell phones. Does not unfortunately fit my Galaxy Note 5 in an OtterBox case. It's just a little too big for it. But most iPhones and normal sized Android phones that aren't half tablet will fit just fine. And this phone mount is actually really cool because it has the 1/4-20 tap threads on the top, the bottom, and the back. So you have a bunch of different ways of mounting it. Plus, this could just be useful on its own for a tripod or, you know, any other sort of rig. And then you just put your phone in here. It's got another cold shoe adapter in here. So if you wanted to attach something else to it, like a light or something, you could. Keep in mind, the more weight you put directly on the phone, the more shake might get added back in there. But so you have the GoPro adapters, the phone adapter, which here has a little level in it as well. And then they included a handful of audio cables for running the microphone audio to your camera. They have one for smartphones, which is the standard 3-pole to 4-pole connection for your smartphone audio, the 3-pole connection for running to most camera microphone in jacks, and then they even have a USB adapter for GoPros. Like, they went all out to make sure you had everything you need. And then of course you have the built-in microphone on the caddy itself. The caddy itself is fairly well built, feels pretty sturdy and rugged. All the build materials feel pretty good. Got some very nice gripping on the camera platform for it to stay on so it doesn't slide around, go in place. Basic locking mechanism on the bottom, which also has another 1/4-20 tap on it, so that way you can mount it up on a tripod if you need to, so you don't have to take your rig apart. And then it has basic gripped feet, so you can just set it down on a table or other surface as well. Over here at the top, where the microphone is, we have a very nice stereo microphone powered by a single AA battery via this panel at the bottom. And then it's got a cold shoe mount on the top for attaching a light, an extra microphone if you would need to, you know, any other thing to really make this a full camera rig. On the microphone unit itself, you have an on-off switch, a plus 10 dB audio or volume adjustment switch, and then a high-pass filter. All your basic on-camera or camera microphone options, all built into the rig. And then on the front, you do have a little tie-off if you want to tie your camera to the rig to make sure it doesn't fall off or anything like that. So this is pretty cool. My main concern originally was that if there is any shake to the grip itself, that might translate to the mic. If you've ever used a pair of headphones and rubbed the wire and you hear that wire translated into your ears, that's kind of what I was worried about, but I was very impressed with the results. The audio quality is actually pretty good from this thing, and it's really great to have it on board. It is fantastic. You can get really stable shots, high quality audio, much better than the on-camera audio. We'll have some sample shots in a minute, and it works really well. It's such a basic concept. I'm kind of impressed that they put it together while also being kind of surprised that no one thought of it before. Let's go ahead and jump to some audio samples with my Panasonic G7. This is a microphone and stabilization test with the Movo MicRig on a windy spring day, and trying to move the cat around here. I do have the mic set to 0 dB instead of the plus 10 dB, and we have the windscreen on there, funnily enough called a dead cat. That's kind of sad. So this is what it sounds like. We're about 5 feet, 6 feet from the microphone, backing up even further now. This is a test. Test, 1, 2, 3. So it's a pretty good little product, and it's gonna range from $40 to $60 retail, which is, you know, about the price you're gonna pay for a standard good camera caddy anyway. Like, you can get some really cheap ones, but the good ones are about that price. So it's not even that expensive either. They've done a really solid job nailing what this product should be. I do, however, have a suggestion for an upgraded model. You know, this be the base model, and then they include another upgrade model that may be more expensive. I don't know how realistic this is, but I feel like if they can put a microphone in this basic, you know, housing here, why not integrate something like an audio recorder? Because the problem here is, if you're running off a AA battery, you're running and gutting and recording. If the battery dies, it does have a little LED indicator at the top so you can see the battery status, or the power status. Not necessarily the battery status, just the power status. So if it cuts off, the light might be off. But if you're running and gutting and recording, and you don't, you know, you're not paying a whole lot of attention, the battery could die, and then you lose your audio. And if you have it running, you know, since you have it running directly into the camera, that means that you have no audio to work with whatsoever, which could be tragic for anyone who runs into that issue. So my suggestion would be to integrate a basic small audio recorder into the unit, into the housing somehow, and have a upgraded unit that allows you to record a second, you know, to a secondary audio system. That way you can sync it up in post and still have your scratch audio on your camera as the worst case scenario fallback if necessary. Alternatively, if you already have something small like the Zoom H1 handy recorder here, you can get a basic 1/4-20 to cold shoe adapter, mount it on the top, and just run the microphone audio to this. Works out great. Or just use the Zoom to record locally as the like fallback audio. But what I use it for is to record it directly to the Zoom and then keep my on-camera audio safe just in case anything goes wrong. Because with batteries, eventually something dies. That would be my suggestion for an upgraded model. This is fairly small. In theory, something could be integrated into the grip here. I'd like to see it happen.
In the United States, ISPs can now sell your browsing history and data, as internet privacy rules were just rolled back. Don't want that to happen? Then it's time to set up a VPN. TunnelBear is offering a free 3-day trial of their awesome VPN service for the next month or so. Hide your data, keep your browsing history safe behind a bear. Check the link in the description below or head to eposvox.com/freebear to learn more.
Otherwise, fantastic product. I will highly recommend it once it comes out. Kickstarter will be starting up in a couple weeks. Go check it out. Links in the description down below.
And that's it from me for this review. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, get subscribed for more awesome tech videos, and come check out our Patreon campaign where you can get early access to our videos, support free tech education, and all of that sort of thing. I'm EposVox, and I will see you in the next video.
Smash the video if you like this review.